What's up, guys? We're back here for
well, I don't know what that was.
Speculation on Volume 14, which is the second half of an arc presented in Volume 13, which if you haven't watched that video or you haven't read the books, you should do that first before coming here.
Because there's a lot of spoiler talk.
We're going to get into the spoilers, the deep side of things, and Volume 13 was a good book, so, read that.
Yeah.
Read it.
Read it, yeah.
Read it now. So, Volume 13 ends with Belle and Elf Lady, often referred to as Liu.
Yeah.
In 437, they had just been taken in by a giant snake monster thing.
They cut out of
the
it.
name is. They got cut out of it. They're heavily injured. She is heavily injured more than Belle.
Yeah.
Belle can at least stand, but is kind of shocked by where he is. Fade to black. That's all we get from them. On the other side of things, we have the rest of the Hestia Familia facing off
on the floor boss. The
floor boss for, I think
it's 25,
yeah,
26?
25, 26,
something like that.
Who, basically the dungeon is pissed at them because they didn't all die, so they released the boss. In addition to this, you do have a monster that was meant to just, kill everyone. That one's still around. The monster has been injured by Belle, but we still don't know.
Pretty severely, too, because I think he
lost a leg or two. But we still don't know if it's going to be chasing down towards Belle, or if the dungeon can identify that they've survived and where they are. Yeah. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much exactly where it ends off. We don't really get much updates for anywhere else, so most of the speculation is going to go off from that starting point.
Yeah. So I guess one of the first things I want to judge on is what do you think is going on with the Juggernaut? I mean, I know you kind of listed here. Do you think it can identify exactly who's the threat, or does it just go off of what's in that floor, and then once the threat's gone, it goes back? Or...
Well, thinking about this, putting on my thinking cap.
You're thinking hood?
Yeah, I don't think it has the ability to trace down Belle and the other two, just because based on the first disaster, they were survived.
Yeah.
So if he could track down the vital signs, so it may just have its eyes and then report to the dungeon. Right. But obviously, the dungeon realized that people escaped, or at least that there were still people in that zone. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But needless to say, I don't think Juggernaut can, track them down, even though that would be cool if that happened.
I don't know what they're going to do, because it said that, it spawned the Monster X early because it realized that the Juggernaut was losing or starting to take on more damage than what it was supposed to. So that's why it spawned in that. But I don't know, if where it's going to show up. Do you think, I feel do you think it has to get killed, though, by the end of next book, or do you think we'll see it just disappear?
In the first disaster, it just disappeared once his job was done.
But it wasn't injured, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it'll be defeated or not. Obviously, it's not going to go against the rest of the Hestia Familia because they're going to die.
I just hope that if they do go up against it, I hope it's Belle.
Yeah, no, it has to be Belle because everyone else is going to die if they go against it, pretty much.
No, one thing I really don't want to see is I don't want to see Loki Familia heading down there because Hestia got the reinforcements thing, and then Eyes is like, hey, look at that thing. Let's kill it.
Don't kill it. It's Belle's, okay? Based on Daphne's prophecy, it looks like they won't have to.
Prophecy.
Yeah, it's the same person. Same person. Based on her prophecy, they won't have to deal with that because, she was like, okay, the threat is over. The prophecies, we're fine. And then it's oh, well, we have another threat now, but at least it's not the prophecy.
It is actually, it's she kind of speculated that it might be the Monster X, but it ended up not being that. But it is kind of, I don't know. I don't think they're going to do the twist of oh, no, that was the actual Calamity she did for sure. Yeah, I don't think so. But anyway, getting on, I wanted to also talk about, what do you think about Liu's story? Do you think we're going to get that finished up, or do you think that's going to kind of not get tidied up into a neat bow and we're going to see it play more on? Or do you think she's past the point where... Because I feel like they set this up to where she's going to get past her trauma, right? And then, we may see her be completely fine and living her life and then occasionally helping Belle, or maybe see her get into the fold a little bit with him. And I don't know if that means joining their familia, but, maybe just becoming more close and interacting with them. But I don't know if they're going to finish that up by this book. Because they have to spend a lot of time on her in this next one.
I think they will. I think they will spend a lot of time on her, so maybe... For sure, I think she'll get past the trauma and maybe change personalities a little bit. Obviously she's going to have the same personality, but maybe she's not going to have maybe she can finally like relax and not relax, but get over her grief of her familia dying and kind of move forward in the direction of either pursuing Belle or pursuing other goals in her life.
I'm really wondering what the purpose of her character is supposed to be, because, well, and I'm not talking about like, I'm just talking about like, what does the author have in mind, like in-game wise? Like, is he using her as a, plot to build Belle further up, like kill her off maybe? I don't want that to happen, but is that a possibility? Are we going to see that, once Belle completely makes things fine with her, is she going to just disappear, from the story completely? I don't want that to happen either. But I don't think those are, ones that are more likely to happen at this point, but I don't know. What do you think? Because I don't really see her joining Hestia Familia either.
Yeah, I'm more optimistic that she could join Hestia Familia just because of there's no really other Familia for her to join. Where, like Aisha didn't join Hestia Familia mainly for the circumstances around Heraheim.
She wants to keep tabs on her.
Yeah, I mean, she would have,
which is great. But they have an inside spy.
If not, she would have joined the Familia if that was not the case.
Right.
So I think there is some hope for Liu joining the Hestia Familia. Also, something I want to talk about as far as levels go for the next book, I don't think Belle's going to be level 5 because I think that puts too much pressure on his other members of the Familia.
Yeah.
So I think what probably was more likely to happen is that Liu could get to level 5 because if you look at her stats,
she's like at the top of level.
Yeah, 4. I mean, you at least have like her speed is like an A, so it's possible for her to get to level 5, and it makes sense in the context of the story because she has been level 4 for 15 years. Even if she hasn't been earning XP, at least you could be like, oh, she didn't get to level 5 super quickly.
But I do know that like they've made this thing where if you don't have a Familia, can you still earn?
Well,
that's the one thing though.
I mean, she still has the markings of a Familia, so maybe she hasn't updated her status. So similar. I mean, maybe she can get in a situation to Fells, so that would be under the context of her joining Hestia Familia and then getting that upgrade, most likely.
That could be a possibility.
Anyway, there's some weird things with leveling because like they've leveled up. They have enough XP to level up, and they level up, but they don't exactly level up until they get their status updated. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm with you on like the Familia thing though. I really want to see the other members level up. It's just, man, they're just so far behind.
Yeah, because they're all 2.
Yeah,
they're all 2.
They're all 2. Well, Aisha's 4. Yeah, she is 4. I think she's like the same, like beginning or middle of.
Similar to Belle.
But yeah, I mean, I see that like I could realistically believe that Belle's gonna level up to 5 if he kills the Juggernaut, faces off again and kills it. But they just really need the other people. Like, I don't know. Do you think I don't know if this would even be too much level overload, but do you think there's a possibility that we'll see Belle at 5 and then them at 3, or do you think?
I mean, obviously that's gonna happen sometime in the future. I don't think Volume 14.
Yeah,
I don't think.
Is it too much of a coincidence that all of them level up, like they all come back and it's like, wow, good job,
really leveled up. Oh, I guess we get a new Familia level.
Yeah, they're gonna charge us more taxes now. Great, thanks guys.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard because I think you have Fels who's always going to be level 4.
Yeah,
so it's going to be hard if he's like not relevant anymore.
Unless they find out some way to.
Can he be level boosted? That's a discussion.
Ooh, that's actually
can
really
level boost go outside of your Familia? I don't know.
I think it could go outside your Familia because Aisha, they've put it on Aisha and she's and they put it on Oka and Chicsa.
So can it be a skeleton man? Can skeleton man be buff? Also, can we see more resurrection from Fels, please?
Yeah. I feel like, man, they need just him tagged along just for that.
Yeah.
But anyway.
He's just in the middle of the dungeon resurrecting people. That's pretty
like, oh, here you go. Hey, buddy. Help me out. Speaking of, like, the floors in the dungeon, what do you think is going to be their out for the 37th floor? Because obviously, if I remember right, Belle's range is still in, like, the 20s. I don't think that they've let him go above that. Liu, I think they said 41, but that was more pertained to her Familia as a whole, I think.
Yeah, I don't know if this is wrong because I don't know if the author has commented on this or if it's just kind of my speculation, but I feel like the deeper levels are levels that you can't explore by yourself unless you're Otter. Like Otter explores it by himself, but everyone else, pretty much they always go in groups. So I don't know. I think Belle's definitely gonna have a tough time, and I hope they do spend quite a bit of time kind of giving us proper atmosphere for what the deep levels are like. Get see different kind of monsters.
I'm still like holding out that we get something like, I mean, not that I need this to happen, but I would think it would be cool to see an interaction between like Otter and Belle, and I think this would be a perfect place for it. But at the same time, I don't think this is the time to have it because we need to focus on Liu, and there's no way they're going to do that if Otter's there, So
we do miss Freya,
so hard, but yeah.
She was in the story a lot at the like season 1 of the anime. She's in it quite a bit, but then
we've only seen her off and on.
I mean, come on, book 7.
Yeah,
when she kills that god, like that's gonna be cool to see in the anime.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that in July. That's gonna be cool.
But since then we haven't really seen much of her presence. But I mean, she obviously is playing in the background, and there's things with like the Astros that kind of was facilitated through her. But still.
And I don't think they could have Astros come in and give him a hand because Astros was like, I will beat you.
I mean, Astro's a cool dude. Though.
Yeah, he's a cool. Have we ever heard him talk? I don't think we've ever heard him. I think it's canon that he can talk.
I mean, at the end, he was like, I don't know if that was like in his mind, but I think he was like, yeah, next time I see you,
yeah,
we're gonna fight to the death or whatever.
So I don't know. I hope that I kind of hope it's not a rescue thing on 37. I hope Belle and Liu get out by themselves, but I think it's gonna be a really hard time to do that because I don't really know how well you can sneak through there. Because like you said, you typically go in groups, and I think that's because there's just so many people, or not people, but monsters hoarding around you that, I mean, even if you're like Eyes, I think you would probably lose eventually just because of the sheer numbers that are down there. You would just run out of mana eventually.
Yeah, I'm trying to think like who would be acceptable for like not necessarily a rescue mission, but just to like team up with the two of them. But there's no real one force that are. I mean, I guess even Ganesha or whatever. I never pronounced that familiar's name right. But,
Ganesha.
But they only have one level 5, so I mean, they could come and assist them. But there's not really like a person that could partner up with them and try to help them get out.
That actually brings me into my next question. Okay, so we know that Lily sent a note to Hestia, and it basically has the contents of like send reinforcements because things are getting hairy down here before actually things really got hairy. So like, who do you think they could send? Because all the people that like Hestia relies on is already out there. The only thing that I just thought of in my mind is the one. Is she level 4 or level 5? The one that has one eye. That works with
she's
Hephaestus. Yeah. Hephaestus. No, I'm still not getting that right. That's the only person I think that they could ask because there's nobody else. Because
have we seen her fight? Because I don't think like in
the side story, I think we have.
Yeah,
and then like maybe in 8, not really though. When she was interacting with 12, I mean, it was kind of like they were all weak sauce. So, but yeah, I don't know like how that's even going to play out because
I mean, you can contact the guild and help them. I mean, you got Fels, and Fels was already there, but he was like focused on something else.
He was focused on the dungeon and the man-made dungeon. Knossos, no.
Canairusis.
Yeah, whatever.
But so I mean, Fels. I would be cool with like Fels going to like if Fels was like, all right, I'm gonna go to the 37th floor and like help them. Then that would be cool.
Yeah,
like partner up. But I mean. Hopefully we get to see some scenes between Belle and Liu, and looks like Liu kind of respects him now, so that's cool. Mm-hmm. So hopefully they can kind of be on good terms. See.
Yeah. There's also the other ordeal, because do you think the rest of Hestia Familia, or their party, I guess, that Belle left behind again, do you think they're going to beat that boss by themselves?
Yeah, no. I think with the level boost, it's going to be like really tough, but I think they can do it.
I'm looking forward to that fight. That should be really cool.
Because like I do like the foreshadowing in the middle of the book, where it's like, oh, we're only going to use 3 level boosts, so you're not super tired, so then you can like deal with it. So it's going to be tough, but
can't wait for that. Also, this is kind of I don't know if we want to go into this really. Maybe briefly, just answer this. What do you think they're going to do with the man-made dungeon? Because they've I feel like they're kind of setting this up for something else. We can go more into this like a discussion
probably in
video.
The side story or something. They're probably like, oh, man, like I don't care.
I really hope not that it's that, but I don't know. I feel like we kind of talked about it a little bit that maybe Freya or Hermes
By
can
the
come
way-
in there and take up shop.
Yeah, by the way, you know, I don't want to get too sidetracked here, but if someone would be willing to read the whole side story and just tell us a summary, I really can't just put it in my mind to like read about eyes for so many hours in my day.
I don't care what you people say, and I'm not trying to piss off anybody, but no amount of side story is going to fix how terrible of a character she is.
Anyway, so can someone just go in there, like read, you know, buy them all, read them, and like give us a 2-page summary of what happens so he can be clued in?
To be honest, I feel like a side story making one character seem cool when they weren't before is just damage control. But anyway, that's my opinion.
That's not my business.
Don't crucify me for that. That's just one man's thoughts. Okay. Getting back onto like the volume 14 thing. What do you think? Like, do you think the guild or like the dungeon or just Orario themselves is going to have any shakeups? Because I'm going to give you the best way I can describe this by example. So like, you know, with the Xeno arc, the city was really shaken by learning, you know, there's monsters and that like they're intelligent, they can use weapons, stuff like that. Do you think there's anything like that we can see in the future so far, or do you think they're just chilling?
I think the only thing, I think a lot of the things that are going to happen in 13 and 14, they're not going to be available for public knowledge. I think the only thing that can really shake up the city is if the guild identifies Liu and's like, okay, you can come back and be an adventurer, and people would probably be a little shaked up by that. But I think much of it'll be. Won't be public knowledge, and hopefully, I would love the trend to continue where we don't see any of Loki Familia in the main series. That'd be great for me. Just continue not seeing any of them.
It's always a possibility.
So yeah, and you know, if they do level up to 3 and 5, they may be able to go to war with pretty much anyone. Because if you have like everyone, you know, with level boost up to 4 and then Bell up to 5, but you know, he's Bell, so he'll be fine fighting against some level 6s.
Yeah.
Then they can pretty much fight anyone.
I'm really looking forward to what's going on in that department. I have a few discussion topics, but I don't want to bring them up here. Like, all the questions are running in my mind to ask you, and I'm like, no, that's like a 40-minute discussion into themselves. So with that being said, I'm going to shut up. But
anything else about 14 that you're excited?
You know, just what I'm excited for. Like I said, you know, I think that we're gonna get some fewer battles in the next book, but I think they're gonna be really epic, and I think they're gonna be really meaningful. Because you know, you got Hestia Familia with the 4 boss that has potential to level some people up. You get to see that, you know, Bell and Liu, even if they don't come across like the Juggernaut again, I think they're gonna face off with some pretty big enemies, to say the least.
Big boys.
Yeah. And then I feel like there's got to be something that's going to... I don't know. They may finish it off, but I'm expecting another cliffhanger a bit.
Also, tell us where Astros is. How down? How many floors down is he on?
It's like probably 88
I don't think so. Maybe like 60. But anyway, so that's pretty much... Yeah, for me, for far as Volume 14, I think we've pretty much gone through what's going to happen. I am not 100% right, but I think the general themes were kind of... You could tell that Volume 13 was going to be, build up, and also that it was originally the 2 volumes were originally one, because it kind of sets up everything pretty well for Volume 14. You know where it's going to go, at least some of the directions.
You just hope in 4 months you remember all the setup work.
It's not going to be 4 months. Who you think we are? Maybe 9 months. We'll see.
Somebody said August in the comments, and I really hope that works, but I don't know.
I don't lies, deception. But yeah, so I'm excited for Volume 14, and, you know, it is hard waiting so long for books. That's why it's, you know, it'd just be like that really bad Adam Sandler movie and just fast forward. But yeah, I'm excited for Volume 14. I think we talked about a lot of what is going to happen, and I would be happy with any direction they kind of go in. I do think that I think Liu should be in the story for a long time because she's one of the better girl characters that's not part of her familia. And
she's capable too, so she can be in a lot of, you know, higher danger.
And scenarios. I think it would be great. She wouldn't necessarily be a mentor to Bell, but I think it would be someone who he can like relate to and talk about. Even though he can kind of do that with other people, at least she's got a high level of skills so she can kind of understand Bell and fight with him. Which hopefully everyone can do, but you know, we'll see. In the meantime, while we wait for everyone else to level up.
It's true. And meanwhile, while we wait for Book 14, we're going to be coming out with a ton of videos, Danmachi, because we saw all the new subscribers, so hi to all of you. And we're going to do more.
If you don't like Danmachi,
sorry.
Fast forward a week and...
You're actually just curious what the show was called or what it was about. Sorry, we ruined all of your
Don't worry.
Hidden secrets.
We'll have Kingdom Season 2 up for those people who like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's pretty much it for Volume 14 for Speculation. We're going to have some discussions. We're going to have some questions. Some unique Danmachi videos, as you know, are in our archives. So later, addicts, and we'll see you for Volume 14 here in the near future. If we're still alive.
I'm planning on it because I can't die with that cliffhanger.
Later, addicts.
See ya.